Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are outside here today at the Penguins Celebration Parade. Look at this. This is crazy. There's a ton of people down here. We're going to walk around. We're going to get some interviews, see how the fans think about the game. Let's go. So what do you think this Stanley Cup means for the city?
I think it's a wonderful thing for this city. It brings everybody out. It's a large support. Like they say, you don't play just the Penguins, you play the whole city.
Awesome. And who happens to be your favorite player?
Murray right now.
and an awesome sign here. What do you think what does this means for the city?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
What do you think that this cup means for the city?
I think it's great. It brings everybody together, makes everybody happy. It's great.
And who's your favorite player on the team so far?
I'd have to say maybe Cullen.
And this seems to be a really controversial question at the moment. If you had a choice, they haven't chosen it yet, who was your pick for Conn Smythe right now?
I'd probably say Murray.
Murray? Okay. Yeah. All right, thank you guys so much.
Sure, thank you.
Penguins is nothing but a great organization. Last season got knocked out of the first round against the New York Rangers.
Saw a tough goaltender.
Oh yes, we saw a tough goaltender last year, but this year was awesome. I mean, if you really think about what happened this year, what transpired with the firing of Mike Johnson, then, as you know, throughout the season, we're fighting for a playoff spot. We're 14th, 15th place. But I think the turnaround this season was when Malkin went down. When Malkin went down, that's when Hornquist, that's when Bonino, and that's when Kessel and Hagelin, those guys stepped it up. And when they start stepping it up, then guess what? All of a sudden, here comes the resurgence of Sidney Crosby. He starts playing like never before. And unfortunately, Fleury got injured with the concussion, at the end of March.
Sad to see, of course.
It was sad to see, but I felt very confident with Murray. Murray throughout the season has played well. We've seen him come in a few times, him and Zakhoff. Yeah. I like Murray a whole lot better than Zakhoff.
A guy we got to give credit to, Zakhoff, coming in and getting a very big win when we needed it.
He sure did. Zakhoff played very, very well. Nothing against Zakhoff. Two great goaltenders that helped this team get to where they needed to get to this year.
Well, it sounds like the parade's about to start. Let's go enjoy the festivities. Thank you for your time, man. Let's go Pens.
Let's go Pens. Thank you.
What's your name, man?
Dave Hammer.
Dave, what's your guys' name?
Connor Fadger. Cole Hammer.
All right, so what do you think this cup means for the city right now?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's been a little while, and we're just the luckiest city on earth, man, to have all these championships. And even 7 years seems like a long time, but it really wasn't. I mean, this is perfect.
So how old are you guys?
10.
So do you guys remember the Stanley Cup in 08?
No.
So this is your real first Stanley Cup. How do you guys feel? How the energy downtown right now? How does it feel?
Really good. Really good.
Electrifying. So who's your guys' favorite players?
I like Matt Cullen. Chris Kunitz.
Good choice. And who's your favorite man?
I really like the way Murray played this season. I guess Crosby's always been the standby favorite, but.
And this has really been my most controversial question so far today. In your opinion, they haven't selected it yet. The game just ended. Who's your pick for Conn Smythe?
It probably would have been Murray.
Murray?
Yeah.
That seems to be the general consensus so far today.
He played excellent, out of his mind.
All right, well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Can I ask you guys' names?
Maddie. Taylor.
So how long have you ladies been Penguins fans?
Whole life.
So you saw the Stanley Cup in 08?
Yes. Yep.
Which one do you think means a little bit more for the city?
This one. Probably this one.
Now, who is your ladies' favorite players?
Sid. Olimata.
Ah, good. They haven't gotten more yet today. I like this guy. So you ladies watched the series, of course.
Yes.
Game 7 just ended. This is one of my most controversial questions today. Who would be your pick for the Conn Smythe winner, the series MVP?
Well, it was Sid, so I'd pick Sid. I thought it was going to be Murray, honestly. Murray or Letang.
All right, ladies, thank you for your time. What's your name, man?
Nate.
Nice to meet you. What's your name, bud?
Jackson.
What's your name, bud? So how old are you, man?
3.
And how old are you?
6.
So this is your first Stanley Cup. How does it feel?
Good.
Are you a big Penguins fan?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
Crosby.
Crosby. And who's your favorite player, bud?
Crosby.
How does it feel to see your first Stanley Cup? Awesome. And how long have you been a Penguins fan, man?
My whole life. I'm about 40 years old.
So we were able to see, luckily to see both cups. Which one do you think means a little bit more for the city? This year or back in the 90s?
Oh, geez. I'd say now it's kind of the revival. We've been waiting for it for so many years, expecting it, and I think this one really sets a tone now going forward.
Do you think it's big that we finally got that Stanley Cup installed? We broke that little curse it seemed like we had for the last couple of years?
I think so, because this team, everyone expected them to win more, so they finally got one, and maybe they can go back-to-back next year.
And one of my most controversial questions today, Game 6 ends, you get to make the decision. Who's your pick for Conn Smythe?
I think all around Crosby deserved it, just with everything he brings to the game.
Even though the points didn't stack up, I think that he had that leadership quality that we needed to get this cup.
I agree, yeah. Everything he did, calling the plays and the face-offs, everything, I think he deserved.
Now, are you a Pittsburgh resident?
Yes.
Okay, how cool do you think it is to see all this and get to experience all this and to have your kids around to experience it with too?
Yeah, that was the point, to bring them down to see everything. I think, this is fun, just being in the atmosphere of everyone else.
All right, thank you for your time, man. Sure. One of my more controversial questions today. You get the decision. The Game 7 has just ended. Who's your pick for the Conn Smythe winner?
Oh, without a doubt, Sid. Anybody that knows hockey is going to pick Sid.
Oh, yeah. Even though
he made it all happen. He didn't score it all, but he made it all happen.
Yeah. Even though the points didn't say it, he definitely he deserved it. One of my big picks though has been Murray. Do you think even though
Murray's was really good, but if you look at the shot count, he didn't face nearly as much. The other goalie was fabulous. So was Murray, but he faced half the shots.
Well, I think what it came down to was the key was I think we came down to like 25 block shots in the last game. That was really big for the defense to step up the way they did.
Murray was great, but Sid's the guy.